Hot news this week, Adam. It turns out that FIFA is corrupt.
Oh, really? I didn't know. I thought they were really by the book and really sound.
No, it turns out that they're corrupt. They've got Sepp Blatter used to run it, and when he did, it was perfectly upstanding organization, uniting the world under kicking around that win bag and
making lots of money at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's a winner, but now it's totally corrupt. So Donald Trump last week phoned the head of FIFA and got a red card overturned for one of the American players. And his reasoning was that if you're going to have a game, it's not fair to not have all your best players, right?
Which
even if
I
there's
guess
been a red card. Yeah,
I mean, it isn't fair to not have all your best players, but if one of those players has done something drastically wrong, then maybe he doesn't have his right to be there.
He's like, you know what, everyone, I was a great athlete. And not having your best players is like, anyway. So yeah, he phoned FIFA up, got an investigation by an independent board, and they overturned.
How independent was this?
I mean, super independent.
Was it Baron Baron Trump?
It even said like an independent adjudication, just to make it all super official. And yeah, so the red card was overturned. The player who is USA's best player was then allowed to play in the very next game against Belgium. For those of you who don't know, you should get a 2-match ban for this, right? A 1 or 2 match ban. And then the USA proceeded to get pumped 4-1 by Belgium, which was quite funny.
So all of this was literally for nothing.
It just made everyone hate the US team and think that will cheat their way to winning stuff. And it's funny because Trump made a statement before the USA lost the game, and he said, well, if they lose to Belgium, I'll just say it was rigged like I did the 2020 election, which I thought was...
Right. That's brilliant.
Yeah. So in other news, for England, it's good because we also had a player sent off against Mexico. One of our right back, he went over the ball, Jared Kwanzaa, and studded into the Mexican player's leg. It's definitely a red card, I would say. But it was still a little bit unfortunate. The ball sort of lifted his leg up. So presumably Keir Starmer called FIFA, and he's got a 2-match ban. So.
Oh, right. Okay. So, right. Well, maybe Keir Starmer has less influence or maybe less footballing knowledge than Donald Trump. And so FIFA just couldn't take him seriously in the same way.
Yeah, I think it's a running joke of I don't think he actually did call. I think it's just a joke that he phoned them up and they were like, yeah, 2-match ban now.
Yeah.
Just because he has that sort of effect on people, Phones up to get a better deal and ends up paying more.
Yeah, which is exactly what's happened with a lot of things in the UK. It's like the worst possible outcome when they try to fix something is always what happens for some reason.
Yeah, and it's not the only farce of this World Cup. So FIFA have also, with VAR, got themselves in serious trouble with the Egypt-Argentina game. All the Egyptian players are coming out saying that it was actually fixed against them and put in favour of Argentina. So Egypt were 2-0 up in this game. They also had a goal disallowed. Now, there was a foul earlier in the play, but it wasn't an obvious error. VAR brought it back after about 70 or 80 seconds and was like, oh no, that's not a goal, and Argentina ended up winning it 3-2. And it was similar in the game before that against Cape Verde. So there's definitely this thing where UEFA, for example, which is the European Football Association, they have all the power because all of the best teams come from there. So FIFA really don't want European teams to win the World Cup. They either want it to be someone brand new, like Switzerland, who are still in there, which is the home of FIFA, or they want it to be an African nation would be brilliant, right? Or Argentina. And Argentina won it last time. Morocco went out last night. So now it's kind of the only teams left that they want is Argentina, Norway, or Switzerland. Because if a European team keeps winning it, it's like FIFA, what are they for, right? UEFA could come in, take over it with all their money, all their might, start a new World Cup, invite other nations to it, and FIFA would be, dead in the water, basically.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. You'd think for that to happen, though, at some point, FIFA must have sat down with the referees or the officials and said, "All right, look, guys, we don't want these people winning. We need people from these areas winning instead." And because it must take some organization if they were doing something like that, or or are referees just naturally affiliated with FIFA and go, "Oh, right, yeah, be more lenient with this team than another."
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's difficult to judge on either side because you could call a decision a certain way or another way. It's like always an interpretation of the rules. But they do things like the England-Mexico game, all of the video assistant referees were from South America, for example.
That doesn't sound. Yeah.
Right. So, and then last night's game, which obviously didn't impact things, France won. But last night's game, all of the video assistant referees are from Argentina.
That's insane. That's because to put it in another context, it's like you've got like Portsmouth versus Middlesbrough or something like that, but like all the VAR is done by Middlesbrough fans. You know, it just there's going to be some some level of messing about with that that's going to work in your team's favor.
And on the other side, even like imagine if it was a load of Geordies as the video assistant referees, because football fans are irrational. I know because I am one. I'm a fanatical football fan for some reason, which is weird because, you know, I consider myself reasonably intelligent, but I'm a full-on lout football fan. And you just have teams that you don't like for no, well, it could be like you played them 7 years ago and one of their players was a bit of a dick when he celebrated a goal and that was it, right? You're like, right, fuck that.
That's it.
That's it.
Never watching Millwall again.
Yeah, right. And presumably that's human nature. So you imagine if you're a referee and you've gone to certain grounds, certain places, whatever, certain fans have just given you shit like the referee's a wanker, whatever, you know, like all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, you surely you're gonna, as a human, you're just gonna keep some of that in, right? So they say they're totally impartial and like, you know, but they can't be really. And they referee so many games, so many things. There's going to be a time where they have a problem with one place or country. We even, as humans, we're irrational like this, right? You'll even have countries in the world that you're like, I don't like that country. You've probably never been there. You don't really know why. And
you've never met a person from that place. Or any of it, you just...
Yeah, or maybe one. Or you saw one person you met, whatever, right? And it gave you a bad impression and all of that kind of stuff. So you're like, right, fuck that whole nation of people. Like, forget them. They're on my not liking list, basically. And these referees must be the same. They're not superhuman where they can't possibly collect these biases and things that you go through life. And you can go, no, that's just a bias or whatever. But if I mean, you got 10 different voices going on. You don't know what the fuck makes your biases work like that. So it's really tricky. And I get it.
It is tricky. And I mean, the same thing will happen sometimes with judges and all kinds of things. We'll just not like the look of someone because of something that happened previously in their life or something. And it probably is in all different walks of life where people have slight biases. But I mean, do you think there's any way to fix this in FIFA? What is there any solution to it? Or is it just something that's always going to be part of the game?
No, there's one. AI. AI can solve all of this. Just get rid of the referees and make AI referees. Like, yeah, yesterday I got served in a restaurant in Vietnam by a robot, and it's the best service I've ever had. It was awesome. This little robot came out with the drinks and turned around and got the drinks off it and turned around and went off. So I think they just need like a referee bot.
I mean, I guess eventually you could just have AI players as well.
And then program it so England always win, and that'll be fantastic.
Then have AI fans and everything else. And you don't need to bother with football anymore. It takes way too much of your time. You can just forget about it. Let AI handle it instead. Just outsource it.
I have to say I'm looking forward to the World Cup ending because I've probably gained about 6 kilos in fat and lost about 4 kilos in muscle over the time of the tournament. So
sounds like it's been a wild ride.
Yeah, I'm just really hoping that England finally win it and bring it home.
Yeah, I mean,
and then I can be done for the rest of my life. Then I don't care if we ever win anything ever again. That'll be it for me. Just want it once.
I think, just unfortunately, either this upcoming game or one after, it'll be England out on penalties again, because that's typically what happens. That's been the case in most World Cups that I've followed. And most of my childhood memories as well of like first enjoying watching England play, and then who was it? Gareth Southgate. Just sends the ball flying over the crossbar into the crowd, and we're out on penalties again.
Yeah, the crushing defeat after hope is raised. It's one of those things. Yeah, Southgate. I remember crying at that in 1996. He hit it down the middle, but we've got a German manager this time, right? So that makes a big difference. And also the universe is messed up because the Germans lost on penalties at the World Cup this year and went home. So there's something strange going on. Germany and the New England, we're maybe the new Germany, and it's all going to work out. I'm not, it'll be fine.
Good.
Anyway,
good luck with it.
And on that
I hope it goes well.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure we'll have more stuff about FIFA next week because there's a lot of other things to discuss that are happening, and it's a car crash, so there's some other things we can go into. But if you want to see that, give us a like, subscribe, follow, and we will see you in the next one. Adam, thank you.
Yeah, see you next time.